okay, now I really hate having to do these videos, but I kind of feel like I'm forced to, and I don't like doing the videos because it makes it feel like I'm someone who complains all the time about everything. But I just feel like I'm in this position because Sports Direct, who I've been dealing with recently, is yet another company who is just messing me about and wasting my time because they aren't willing to give me a refund that I am entitled to. So recently I went into a Sports Direct store in Bridgwater where I live, and I bought this product here, okay? So the idea was that I would use this at home, you know, to sort of train and build a bit of muscle. And when I previously looked online and looked what was available, but I thought, well, I would rather go into a store and actually see the product in person and potentially try it out if I could. So I saw this on the shelf, and they had strong and they had extra strong, as you can see, which this one is. So it's a bit of a subjective description. You think, well, what is that? You know, if you measured that in kilos, what would that be? And there's nothing on the packaging that I could see that said anything about that. So I was a bit wary about buying this in case it wasn't extra strong, or maybe it'd be too strong. And anyway, so the package at the time when it was in the shop was sealed, a little sticker here, which I've obviously now opened. And when I was in the shop, I wanted to try it, so I spoke to one of the staff there in the Bridgwater store and said, look, you know, I like this product, but there's nothing on the box which says how strong it is, other than, you know, this vague term. So am I allowed to try it out, you know, before I buy it? And the lady said, oh, well, we're not allowed to handle any packaging, which I thought was a bit weird because, I mean, they're always stocking the shelves. But anyway, so I said, well, okay then, if I buy it and I take it home and it's not any good, can I bring it back for a refund? And the lady said yes. I was like, okay, good. Still a bit of a hassle because I've, you know, if it's no good, I've got to, you know, bring it back into town again and go through the rigmarole of getting a refund. But okay, if that's what it takes, I'll do that. So I took it home and tried it out, and it's basically useless. I mean, an 8-year-old could use this. It's so feeble, you know, it's definitely not extra strong. So if I just take out the packaging for you, okay. So this is what it looks like, okay. So I'm a bit tangled here. So it's basically like a big elastic band covered in a protective covering. So I think in case it snapped, you know, it wouldn't rebound on you. But anyway, that's what it looks like. You've got your handles here, so you would put this around something and then pull on the other end with the handles, as you saw in the picture. That's what this guy's doing, okay? Now, I'm not suggesting that this guy got all of his muscles just from using this, but given that this particular guy, I know it's a model, okay, I know, but given that this particular guy is using this, and you know, he's being picked as a model for this photo, you would think, well, it's suitable for someone of this muscular build in order to get some gains, you know? So I thought, you know, that'd be suitable for me, I think. So if I pull on this, absolutely no effort at all. It's just like so easy. Okay, so it would be attached here and pulling around with 2 hands. So the equivalent would be me doing this, okay? Which is just so easy. I mean, I would have to do like about 1,000 reps, if not more, to get any sort of benefit at all. And no one's got time for that. You know, I'm looking for something which I can do, pull on this like, you know, 10 times or something to feel any sort of gains. So to call this extra strong is just utterly ridiculous. It's not extra strong, it's extra weak. So anyway, I took this back to the store and asked for a refund. And first of all, I got someone who said that I could only get an exchange or a credit note. And I said, well, no, I want a refund. You know, this product, it's not good enough. It's not doing what I want it to do. So he said, oh, hang on, I'll just get my supervisor. So the supervisor comes over. I explain the same thing. And he says, oh no, we're only offer an exchange or a credit note. And I was like, but it's no good. I spoke to a lady yesterday and said, could I get a refund if I bring it back in? Because I wasn't able to test it in the store. So I said, could I bring it back in if it's no good and get a refund? And she said yes. And he said, oh, who said that? So I said who it was, by description. And then I said, well, I wasn't told that I could only get an exchange or a credit note. And he said, it says it on the receipt, so at the bottom here it says it on the receipt. So I was like, well, who goes around reading receipts after they've bought something? It's just a general understanding. If you buy a product and it's no good, you take it back and you get a refund. I mean, I've never had this issue. Anytime I've ever gone to a shop and had a problem with a product, I take it back and without batting an eyelid, they'll give me a refund. And the other thing is that, this statement that's written on the receipt, so we are happy to offer an exchange or credit note for any unwanted items returned within 28 days of purchase. I mean, that statement, that's written on the receipt after the purchase. It's not like someone's told me beforehand. I mean, if someone told me beforehand that I couldn't get a refund, a cash refund, well, then I wouldn't shop there, I'd go elsewhere. So I did say to the guy at the time, look, it says extra strong on the packet and it clearly isn't extra strong. And, that was my argument that, look, this product isn't doing what I'm expecting it to do, so I want my money back. Now, I didn't specifically say anything about Consumer Rights Act or, any specific paragraphs from that, because obviously I didn't have that to hand because I was expecting to get a refund very easily. And it's only now that I've sort of had a look and, I suppose I could go back in the store and recite that to them, but I don't want to have to go back in again, and speak to the same guy. He's probably going to have the same sort of response to me, because I thought I was quite clear that I felt I was being sold a product which, wasn't up to scratch. I just didn't give him any sort of legal examples, legal paragraphs to say, look, this isn't right and I think it's against the law. So apparently you are allowed to not offer a refund, but I think in my case, because it's a product which doesn't do what it states it should do, as in it's not extra strong, then I have got grounds for a refund. And so I've got some information here which I'll read off a few bits. Terms given to a consumer after the contract is made, for example, terms written only on the back of a receipt, are not part of the contract and they have no effect. So this is a website which I found. Oops, you see that there? So Business Companion, I found this information on, and I think it's basically kind of quoting from the Consumer Rights Act, but putting it into more understandable language rather than legalese. So that was one part, and then another part, it says goods must be fit for a particular purpose. When a consumer indicates that goods are required for a particular purpose, or where it is obvious that goods are intended for a particular purpose and a trader supplies them to meet that requirement, the goods should be fit for that specific purpose. When a consumer relies on the description, sample, or display model, the goods supplied must conform to it. If the goods do not conform, an offence may have been committed. Okay, and if when they are supplied, the goods do not meet the requirements above, there is a short period in which the consumer is entitled to reject them, which is what I'm doing. This short-term right to reject goods lasts for 30 days unless the expected life of the goods is shorter, as with highly perishable goods. The 30-day period does not start until the consumer has ownership, so yeah, I've bought it, or for hire purchase and conditional sale, or the consumer has possession. So until the consumer has ownership of the goods and the goods have been delivered. When a consumer rejects the goods, they can claim a refund, which can include the return of items handed over in exchange or part exchange. This would be a full refund, or in the case of a hire, a refund for any part, blah, 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 blah. A refund must be given without undue delay and in any event within 14 days of the trader agreeing that the consumer is entitled to a refund. I think I should be entitled to a refund because the product doesn't live up to what it states it should be doing. If the consumer rejects the goods, they are entitled to a refund. So I'll link to this in the description of the video, but you get the idea. Basically, this product here hasn't lived up to what it should do. It hasn't done what it's claimed on the box, and I think that's a breach of the Consumer Act, and I should be entitled to a full refund. No exchanges, no credit notes. So Sports Direct, what are you doing? Why are you treating your customers this way? I mean, surely you want loyal customers, don't you? You don't want to drive your customers away and, you know, mess them around, and also your staff, you know, you underpay your staff. You're just a crappy company. You know, do the right thing, give people a refund when they're entitled to it. I haven't damaged this product. There's nothing wrong with it other than it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and it's not suitable for my purposes, maybe for someone else, but not for me. So I've got a legitimate reason to return it. So just give me my money back and stop messing me around and wasting my time.